Welcome to my edition of the Corona Diaries. My name's Martin. I run a company called Right Pave. We install driveways and patios across Surrey, just so you guys know a bit about what I'm about. Really admire Dan for doing this, and and first and foremost, thank you so much for asking me, and it's a great honour to be asked to present an edition of this, and I know it's something that holds you dear, so it really does mean a lot, and thank you so much for getting me on board. What do I talk about? I've got 8 minutes, and no doubt I'll steam through this and the 8 minutes will be gone. I'm like, why didn't I say this? Why didn't I say that? I haven't really scripted this. I've got a couple of things to go by. But I think on that note, of having a good circle, I think one thing that I'll get across, is the importance of having good people about you. And I have people like Dan, and I have probably about 5 good people in my circle that I can trust, that don't co-sign my bullshit, that tell me how it is, when it is, and that's really important. They're positive people, they don't piss them on, and they're all striving to do positive stuff in their life, and they're all prepared to fail at doing something by just giving it a go. And that's one thing, is I don't want to get to 50 years old and look back and think, do you know what, I had all the opportunities, I had all the gifts, and why didn't I make the most of it? Because I've seen that's a reoccurring theme that I see with people, that they just don't take the plunge, they don't do it. And I've been guilty of it sometimes in my life, and that's why I'm giving this a go as well, just to see how it pans out, and I'll be interested in some feedback, and no doubt I'll get caned by Dan for a few bits, and I do come out with some bits, so let's see. But I'd just like to bring up a sales stat. I'm going to talk a bit about sales, and there's a few bits, and I think I can definitely fill 8 minutes with sales. That the one thing I am massive on is follow-up, points of contact. And sales statistics, they say that 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. Okay, 25% of people make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. 10% make more than 3 contacts. That means 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3 on the second, 5 on the third, 10 on the fourth, and 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So if you're going to sit in leads and you ain't following them up, you're missing a trick, because 48% of people, so that's basically half. If 4 people are sitting a lead, alongside you, or say you're one of 4, 2 of them ain't even going back for a second dip. So if you've just narrowed down them 4 down to you and one other. Now, if that one other tails off after 2 or 3, and you keep battering the shit out of them and beating them into submission, or let's call it massaging, you will get that deal. And you can ask Dan. I close a hell of a lot of what I look at, and it's based on key points which I'm going to talk about. And one brings me to a really important story that it's when I first met Dan, actually, and Dan came to come and sit a couple of leads with me, a few leads actually, 10 or 15, and it was very interesting, and sort of see what my game was all about. And there's a job in Esher, clients opened the door, and I introduced myself and set the agenda, which I'll come on to, and some cats came out, and I was like, oh, it's a British Blue, and I was like, oh, lovely cat, so fluffy, oh, what's his name, what's her name, and all that. And at the end of the lead, Dan said, Martin, I didn't know you were so into cats. I was like, I fucking hate them. And he was like, what? And he was like, but I know 20 breeds of cat and 20 breeds of dogs, purely, not because listen, I don't hate them, purely for the fact that if I go into a lot of people have cats and dogs. Now, if you know your breeds, and you don't have to be a fucking dog or cat expert, I'm not saying that, but it's not hard to show interest and enthusiasm. And essentially, if someone has an animal in their house, they pay for that animal, don't charge the animal rent, they love that animal. And the amount of people that I've seen, they're like, oh, fucking hate, and they tell clients that, it's insanity. You are losing that deal. And it's not lying or manipulating, it's the art of the sale. There's and that comes down to this 4 things. You have to get across 4 key important points to a customer. in any sale, when you open the door. And that's that you're sharp as a tack, you know, so you're quick thinking, you're not an idiot, and, you know, you seem sensible enough. You're enthusiastic as hell, so you really want to do their job. You know, how you know, you love your job, you know, everything about it. You love the materials, you know so much about them. You know, and that leads you into being an expert, being a professional. No one's going to employ someone that's not a professional. And they need to know that, and you need to convey that you're an expert in your field. And the fourth thing is trust, and trust is earned through respect throughout the lead, i.e. with things that you turn up, you don't stink of shit. You know, you have deodorant on. People might laugh at it, but there's a hell of a lot of people that don't. You know, you take your shoes off. When people turn around and say, oh, don't worry about your shoes, as I walk through a house, I say, no, and I take them off. You know, it's things like that that are of paramount importance, you know, earning people's trust and respect. And if you respect someone's house, they'll have respect for you, you know. And when straight away I open the door, I set the agenda with the client. I explain, look, this is what I'm here for, this is an appointment, you know, regarding your driveway patio. I look, you know, I've read the sheets of what I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to ask you what you want. The amount of people that come in and say, they don't ask the client what they want. You know, you need to ask the client what they want and listen to them. And then after that, you tell them you're going to survey the site. It's going to take 5 to 10 minutes. You're more than welcome to, you know, come with me on that. Then I'm going to run you through some product samples. I'm going to run you through some brochures. Then I'm going to run you through some costings for the project, and, you know, talk to you more in depth about the project. And then I'm going to run through some possible lead times. How does that sound? And it's so important to set the agenda so the client knows exactly what's expected, and you don't get them dodgers that then go and fuck off for their dinner and think that they can give you a couple of minutes of their time and just, or leave you to it. And that's, you know, all of these things. And I've got into 7 minutes already, and I think, you know, I'm going to sort of end it on this and the run up. I hope someone's got something from those points that I've come across with, and they are points that I use on a daily basis: chasing, following, you know, showing respect, being present, being there, and yeah, it really does work. It really does work. And since I've sort of, you know, stuck to those principles, and whenever I go to a job and I don't set the agenda, or I don't take my shoes off, or I don't stick to these rules, and I don't turn up, I don't really want to be, I don't get the job. It's as simple as that. So yeah, thank you very much, Dan, for asking me to do this. I hope someone's got something from this. It's been interesting doing it, and yeah, nice to be here, and I look forward to seeing everyone else's. So yeah, respect. 8 minutes. Dan, you did not think I'd stick to that.